7:30 on Wednesday, April 10th, 2019. I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting of the Richmond Township Board of Trustees. Would everyone please stand and join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Sure. Coleman.
Here.
Zalka.
Here.
Greenman.
Here.
LaFontaine. Here. DeVos.
Here.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the presentation of agenda. I would like to add under public comment, first to speak would be Mr. Ken Goyke is here from the Macomb County Bank Commission. He'd like to review the drain program that the county has currently. I'd also like to move item 13C, approval of Memphis School 2019 summer tax collection, up to, let's make it 8B1, will be under the treasurer's report. Are there any other changes to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda will stand as amended. Next item on the agenda is public comment. So Mr. Goyke, we're going to go ahead and start with you. If you'd like to get up and speak with us, thanks for coming tonight. We appreciate that.
Well, thank you, everyone. My name is Ken Goyke, and I'm here for the Macomb County Public Works, not the Road Commission. Public
I'm
Works.
so sorry.
For the Honorable Candace Miller. She heard that I was semi-retired, so she asked me to come work with her because I know ditches and I'm back in the big bottom of it. So the reason I'm here tonight is to make everybody aware of the program that we have going on. It's a 50-50 program to work in partnerships with the local communities on doing our county drains. Just to give everybody a little bit of update on, you have 4 different types of drains in our area. First of all, the major, the streams are usually waters of the U.S., which are your rivers and stuff. They're in control of that stuff. So then you're dealing with the Department of Natural Resources and for them on anything that has to be done with that. And then the most common ditches that everybody sees is the road ditches, and that is our road commission. So the road, alongside of all the roads, most of the time they are county road commission ditches. Sometimes they are our public drains. The third one is you have private drains that actually drain into them, and then you have your county drains. The county drains are all, registered legally down at our office. I look at those records quite often. I was doing some work on the Shook Drain in the drainage district there. I went back to 1889 to see when it was first petitioned to become a drain. So normally what happens is if somebody has an issue, they call our department, we'll tell them whether it's our drain or not. If it is, first thing I look to do is see if there's any money in that drainage district in that drain. If there is, I can go visit that person and try to take care of their concerns if we have enough money in it, and we take care of it. When Candace got into office, she'd seen all these complaints coming in, so in lieu of Public Act 40 of 1956 of making the drainage districts, come up with the tax themselves, she asked the Board of Commissioners for a sum of money, approximately $100,000, and that we would work with our local municipalities such as yourself, and we would be able to do a 50-50 split. So what that, on the 50-50 split, is if I come out and I determine that I'm estimating that the job is $10,000, you would be expected to pay $5,000, and then the county board of commissioner money would be the $5,000. When I get done with that job, and I see it was only $7,900, you're going to, get a bill for for just what that amount is, exactly what it is. The benefit is that the employees that work underneath me, and our equipment that's owned by the Public Works Office, is free gratis, basically, because we're already on the payroll. So we're all working on that drain. What we're paying for is the contractor with the equipment to do either the grubbing, which is when we have a lot of brush. He's got either like a commercial brush hog or pulverizer to also assist. It's a lot quicker than doing it by hand. And we have wood chipper and 8 chainsaws, and we spend a lot of time doing that. And then the contractor that we hire to actually clean the drain. So now that I've been there 6 months, I do have a few numbers to work with. Our range is anywhere from about, if you want to break it down to what you can get, each job is different. But we're as low as $4 a foot on some of this drainage stuff. If we were going through a farm field with no trees or nothing, I could just put that contractor out there. It could be cheaper than that. But most generally, we have to spend a lot of time doing, getting the rubbish out of the drains and cleaning them up. So to make it clear, everybody can take care of their own drains. You cannot cut anything off the banks. If you want a tree there, cut it close to the ground, leave it so the stump stays in it, because we want that root mass to hold the banks up. You're allowed to just clean the channel on the very bottom for the flow. And that's pretty simple, because when you're in there digging, when you stop seeing the black dirt, that means you're down to the virgin soil, what that grade was when it was originally opened up. So my ask, to you guys is to make you aware of this, funding that's available to take care of your problems. If you, can see it in your budget, to set some money aside to take care of some of your problems, and not to be afraid to call our office or call me personally. And I can tell you if there's any money in that drain. If there's not, then we have to go to the 50-50. And then I'm leaving you with a map. I got it right here on the table, so that it'll help and assist you if somebody comes in, and then you'll be able to tell right away if it is ours or not. Any questions for me?
Your business cards are there too, with your phone number on it.
You got my number.
Oh, yeah.
So you have any of that on,
You know what? I left them in my house. I just leave my last one down my wallet. Somebody here during the day, I can stop.
Ken, on your money, so you have like 100,000 a year roughly.
Yes. So that gets $200,000 of work done.
Work done. Each year, how soon would we have to have a project in, or does money go pretty fast?
Well, I just had a meeting with Candace yesterday, and I'm kind of like in charge of it. I run it by her, obviously she's the boss,
Yeah.
but we're trying to spread it out throughout the whole county,
Yeah.
not just focus in one area. So I would, because we haven't done anything that I'm aware of up here, I've worked on some of the drains, but it hasn't been through the 50-50 program, but there is, a lot of work that needs to be done. I would be able to do at least one project for you. But most generally, it's a first come, first serve. And as of right now, I've got quite a bit of this year's, I'm leaving some. I've already got dedicated. I'll just give you like Gray Township. Joe Jarzana said, you know what, I got the board to authorize 9,000 this year. And I used Gray because it's pretty comparable to Richmond Township in size with your population. And so that gives them $18,000 worth of work of just contractor costs. So the only thing that I take out is the contractors, and I neglected to say, if I have to buy seed mulch, that also comes out of it. But, so I did say that our labor, is, because it is already included because you are, a taxpayer of the county. So that's the way she's operating this program, which I think is very good.
So the map, Ken, shows us exactly which county drain it is?
Yes. Yeah. The dark blue ones, if you look, there's an index on the side, and it'll show you. That way it's a quick reference to it. And if you want to, you can go to our website, and you can actually pull it up, on our GSI stuff that we have.
So in that though, do you do strictly county drain? Or let's say you got a section of county drain and maybe 100 feet on it into a private, would you touch that or no?
If it's private property, yeah. Oh, no, if it's not my drain, no.
Yeah.
Because every one of our drains, we have an easement.
Yeah.
And then, see, I got a real huge problem on that shook drain right now. That's why I found the records from the beginning. It ends at 29.5 mile road. But it ends, there's actually, from 1889, the old farmer that was there, he dug the drain from 30 mile road in Custer, right down his fence line. And he never petitioned to be in it, but the drain took off from there. Well, right now, that thing is 3/4 full. The tube going up the cross culvert for the county, and they can't do nothing about it because it's all private property. So, I went to Mr. Trombley to say, hey, why don't you, see if you guys can get that to take care of it, because it'll help the road commission to drain. Because I kind of work with the road commission quite a bit, especially if we do some of the roads, I got, that is our drain. They do it alongside the road for us. Plus, they'll jet out the cross culverts and stuff. And if I find bad ones, then they'll replace them and stuff. So we're working hand in hand so that we're not trying to be a silo, whereas, left hand don't know what the right hand's doing. So pretty excited about that. I think we're getting pretty good county services.
The budget for the county runs from 1 to when? 100,000 is
October.
October.
Any more questions? And we'll get some cards from you at some point, I'm sure we can find you if we need to.
Yeah.
I'd like to really thank you for coming tonight and explaining this to us and bringing the map. Thank you so much for doing
All right.
that. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
We will open public comment now to the public, and this public comment will be on items that are on the agenda. If you have something you'd like to state, could you please come up to the podium and state your name?
Steve Murphy. I believe the last meeting you promised to have the budget available for us to look at, and I don't see where the budget's available yet. And I believe you said it would be available for tonight, and I don't see a copy of it anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on to the approval of minutes. The approval of the March 13th, 2019 regular board meeting. A motion would be in order to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Support that.
Are there any changes, amendments, anything to the minutes? All right, hearing none. Motion by DeVos, supported by Zelper, to approve the minutes of the March 13th, 2019 regular board meeting as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. On the consent agenda tonight, we have the building inspector report, the EMS report, office manager report, planning commission report, and the NEMC minutes were on the table tonight. A motion would be in order to approve the consent agenda either as presented or if you so choose to remove an item and put it on under new business below.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as is.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, motion by LaFontaine, supported by Coleman, to approve the consent agenda of the April 10th, 2019 Richmond Township Board of Trustees meeting as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next item on the agenda,
In your supervisor's update,
yes.
you said that consent agenda should be.
You're right, we bought it. And I said that to Kathy, thank you so much. Good thing you remembered, and I said it to her right before.
I know.
Yep. Okay, no, thank you, let's go back, thank you, Vern. See, I told you, Dave says, bear with me. I'm gonna read the motion again, and we'll do roll call, okay? Thanks, Vern. Okay, motion by LaFontaine, supported by Coleman, to approve the consent agenda for the April 10th, 2019 Richmond Township regular board meeting as presented, and now I will ask for roll call, please.
Sure. LaFontaine? Aye. Coleman?
Aye.
Zolka?
Aye.
Greenya?
Aye.
Rose?
Aye.
Motion is carried, thank you, Rainford. Next item on the agenda is the financial reports. Kathy has presented all of us with the bills as well as an updated budget form. A motion would be in order to approve and pay the bills as presented.
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Question on the bills.
Okay.
It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, we paid the operating fees for the clerk's conference.
Right.
And then there was a reimbursement to you, Kathy, for a number of things which I approved. One of them was a rollaway.
It was a rollaway bed. There were 3 of us
In the room?
in the room. Yeah, we all bumped in together to save the township money, so we needed the extra bed.
I take it that it was you definitely didn't consider it?
Right.
Okay. My one question is, I know we're reimbursing you for the rollaway, but shouldn't that be something that would be paid by Cindy.
And I can do that. I think that I stayed there for probably 4 or 5 years. Richmond Township of the state, in the city of Max room without charge.
I know, just being
Okay.
transparent for the community.
Okay.
It was not a supervisor's conference, it was a clerk's conference.
Correct.
And I know you were a former clerk, and you attended, so
Right.
I just thought that maybe we should make sure that it's clear like that.
Yep, I don't mind paying her for it, no. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone else have any questions? Okay. Motion by DeVos, supported by Coleman, to approve and pay the bills as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. Bob?
Okay, in this month's treasurer's report, we have in the general funds, fire fund, $849,714.85. In the tax account, we had $75,425.24. The other PNC accounts total $38,170.31. Our investment accounts, $372,131.28. And the purchase of development rights account, $14,781.09 for a grand total of $1,350,222.77. Should indicate that most of the tax account funds are our administration fee, which I always hold back and pay after we get delinquent funds from the county. We're waiting for receipt of the settlement funds, which I expect will come in the next couple of weeks. So there's our entire administration fee in the tax account. The township investments report that's included with your treasurer's report shows the interest, the quarterly interest we received on one of our North Star CDs. It does not show any of the change in the Michigan Schools of Government Credit Union because the statement came in after the treasurer's report was prepared. So that's a little greater in terms of our funds. And we have the income revenue report, which, as you'll see on the revenue sharing for the month of March, we received 2 checks, which was one of those was the check that had been lost somewhere or November disbursement. We asked the state to reissue, and they did. So that's why we have a sizable amount of revenue sharing for the deposit in the month of March. Also, as a part of the treasurer's report, which the supervisor has added to move to the agenda, we had initially thought that Memphis was going to be asking to approve our township to collect the school district millage that they have, asked us to collect in the summer of 2018. I had provided to you a letter from Brad Glebney, the superintendent of Memphis Schools, indicating that due to a mistake on their part, they didn't get the resolution in time, and their attorney has told them that they'll have to revert back to collecting the millage for Memphis Schools in the fall of, or in the winter collection, I'm sorry, the winter collection of 2019. So that's the letter that he has drafted, which I expect he said he was going to be sending out to the homeowners in the Memphis School District to advise them on that change. Certainly what's going to happen is the mortgage companies are going to need to know that because they're probably expecting the collection during the summer. So I'm going to make sure I'm ask Chris to put that somehow on our website, a note to the Memphis School District. People will allow that letter get out from the district. So affects some people. Chris? But that's about it. That's all I have as far as the treasurer's report.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions at all for Bob?
The administration fees, how much is it?
There should be roughly, I think, there's about 54,000.
How much, so what can we charge? How does that work? How do we come up with that?
It's 1%.
1%, 1%, okay. Okay. And we get that, or do you get that?
Well, I guess we're talking about two different things. Are you talking about collecting for the school districts? Or are you talking about the administration fee that is assessed to all property tax holders?
I think we're talking about the school, I guess.
The school district, when we collect for the school district in the summer, we add, basically it's $1, I believe, $1.50
That's a lot.
to the number of parcels that we collect on those buildings. So we got that additional revenue in the summer of this year. We collected for, but since it's going back to the winter, since we have a tax bill that the township issues in the winter, we don't collect the charge them. So whatever income we receive from that business, $300, we will not receive that for the next tax. We give it back again, it's a tough summer, 2020.
And they just want the early fee, but they have to look at it.
Sure, yeah, I think that's what they wanted, and somehow they forgot to send us the resolution.
All set, right?
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, and the treasurer's report will stand as presented. Now we'll move on to farmland preservation. Bert?
Yes, we have, our next meeting is going to be next Thursday at Ray Township again, and we're just working on working towards this fall, we're anticipating the state is going to have another application cycle. We're working on that, getting the applications out, getting fine tuning everything there. And myself, or Kevin Cook and myself are going to be meeting with the Six Rivers Conservancy tomorrow at Ray Township. Again, just trying to brainstorm on how we can kind of work with them and preserve the open space. They're working on a piece of land right now over in, I think it's Ira Township, just by county line at 29 Mile or 29 River Road. There's 150 acres or so left there that they're trying to preserve in behind that one big subdivision right off county line. They're working to try to preserve that, so we're just kind of meeting with them tomorrow to kind of brainstorm. That's with Andrea, and this time the head guy is going to be he wanted me. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Bert? No? All right, thank you, Bert. Next item on the agenda is the building report. John?
Yeah, there's really, I don't know if there's really a whole lot to comment on. We have the one mower out for its annual preparation for cutting season. We hope we don't have to spread any more salt or do any more plowing this year, but one never knows, it is Michigan. Hopefully here in mid-May, we'll be looking at finishing up the seal coating of the big parking lot property, and so along first way to get back. But before you do that, with that, I think everything else is
Any questions for John?
So what are we doing on the senior center roof?
replacing, actually. But that'll be with CD, that'll be not this summer, but probably next summer by the time we get because the CDBG funds, although we allocate them springtime, I guess, I don't know.
January.
Some months ago, January, February, I guess it was winter time, we allocate those funds. Then they go through a process, they get approved by the county about October, November of this coming year. By then, it'll be too late to do any roof work
Right.
And so probably early spring of next year is when we would be able to.
Anyone have any other questions for John? All right. Next, we have the assessor's report. We did have board review. I will be asking Chris Thursday. I asked her for some information on something else. I'll ask her for the new taxable number. I did see in her report that they, as of the 26th of March, they were rolling over to the 2020 database. Did anyone have anything they'd like me to get with Chris about, or Lisa?
Just a question on the board of review. We have much complaint about library tax. No,
Never heard anybody about it.
that's you. Really would complain there, but I'm just,
Yeah. Good question.
that's surprising.
I thought we might give you.
Yeah.
Right? All right, nothing for me to take back. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We keep the medical marijuana on here, under here. I think we've had it on for probably a year and a half or so. I was just kind of look up when I'm doing my packet and send out a couple of recent items and articles. I do know that someone I work with at my other job is on the committee with Lara, where they're going to be deciding the rules and regulations that will be coming out in June for recreational marijuana, and they're looking at one of the things that are medical marijuana. So, but she did say that she felt it was going to be really easy to obtain a lot of those licenses. She was concerned about that. So, other than that, if there's questions or you'd like me to look anything up for the next meeting, I'd be happy to do so.
I would just like to, I don't know, but I think I talked to both of them, because we did go to court on the one old rock lot. And the gentleman does have a license, he presented those to us. I don't know, has he responded to the rest of our demands that we wanted to go see them? To view we heard back, we haven't heard anything back. So, and they didn't show up, just the lawyers did. And we got to explain to the lawyer what was going on. I think he was kind of in the dark what was going on too. And we told them that if they could, bring it up to standard with the Detroit and make everything good with them. And we would like to visually count the plans, or let the state police come in and count the plans.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's really nothing we can do about it.
One thing that the woman I work with did tell me that they are sharing for communities to toughen up our nuisance ordinance, which I know that we did do some work on not long ago. And they feel that, like we have one complaint now where the odor is just horrific. And so if we make those ordinances tougher, we can cite them on those things without.
Yeah, we didn't make any deals as far as any other ordinance. All the thing was is that, we recognized that he could be there. He did show us the permits. We told him the issue was more with the Edison, not with us. And he needs to do that.
And then the other place on Portman, they failed to show up to the court date, so
Yeah.
there was a warrant out for them. Then we just started holding at them. Sharon will let us know our next one.
I'm sorry, how much room are we going to have if we're not utilizing these new laws coming out in June? Do we still count plans? Can we still cite it for, what, is it going to be a looser? I don't know,
Well, I
that
think
deserves to be good.
the laws coming out in June are going to be regarding recreational marijuana.
But with that, how does that affect the medical side?
Medical marijuana is still going to stay like it is currently for now. So like I said, she was explaining that one thing she heard was the enforcement, we would have to go after smell, after blight, after something like that in our ordinance, since if they have their caregiver card, they're, perfectly legal to do what they're doing. And we can't do anything about their zoning. It's pretty much a
I
law.
wonder what they, recreation, are you still up in, bring the metal department, recreation, can you still roll in your house? You still haven't got out of one year at that point.
You can still have 12 plants.
You still have 12 plants. Still a limit on it.
That's what it is, the medical laws and the recreation laws, they,
I think
they're
they're
really
gonna,
together, I don't know, nobody knows,
Yeah.
that's my big question, concern.
it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of stay put. All set? Okay. Next item on the agenda is to set a date for the FY 1920 General Fund public hearing. A motion would be in order to set a public hearing for the FY 1920 Richmond Township General Fund public hearing for Wednesday, May 8th, 2019 at 7:34, 7 p.m., whichever you prefer.
Motion to set the public hearing for the general fund budget for May 8, 2019 at 7 p.m.
Is there support?
I'll support.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, motion by Zalka, supported by Voss, to set the public hearing for the FY 1920 Richmond Township General Fund budget for Wednesday, May 8, 2019 at 7 p.m. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Next item on the agenda is to set the public hearing date for the fire and EMS millage rates. On the agenda, we did have just the first public hearing date. If the board would choose, I had written in my item to set for both the first and second public hearing date. So I would have a motion would be in order to approve setting the first public hearing for the Richmond Township FY 1920 fire and EMS on Wednesday, 2019, immediately following the Richmond Township FY 1920 General Fund budget public hearing, and hold a second public hearing for the Richmond Township FY 1920 fire and EMS budget on Wednesday, June 12, 2019 at whichever time you prefer.
Just what you said, I would leave it at 7:30.
And leave that at 7:30?
That's what I,
Okay, is there support?
I'll support it.
Is there any discussion?
Are we talking about both first and second?
yes, yes.
I just want to make a note to the board. I will not be here on the 12th for the second public hearing, so it matters, but I just want to make sure you do this.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right, I know this is going to seem very redundant, but I have to read it again according to the new things we're trying here. Motion by Coleman, supported by LaFontaine, to approve setting the first public hearing for the Richmond Township FY 1920 fire and EMS on Wednesday, May 8th, 2019, immediately following the Richmond Township FY 1920 General Fund budget public hearing, and to hold a second public hearing for the Richmond Township FY 1920 fire and EMS budget on Wednesday, June 12, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Okay. Next item on the agenda is to discuss and update the goals and objectives. A motion would be in order to approve the board member designations as decided by the boards for FY 1920 goals and objectives. I'll make that motion. Can I get a support?
Support.
Okay. So I wasn't sure, Vern, when you had said, are we going to discuss this at this meeting? So I thought I would just bring back our goals that we had talked about at our meeting. And like I said in my opening paragraph, as I was going through, these were just, just ideas about who might be best suited, to work on them. Obviously, for instance, with the paid holidays, it would be the personnel committee. We do have information on cell phone already that Chris Merkel put in, or Lori printed out for me, put in front of us tonight. The intern, I know Bob has worked on that, and it looks like we're in a good spot for that already.
Yeah, I should let the board know. It looks like there's a prospective student, I'm talking to the principal, Andrew, last night, his name is, at Richmond. He's approached the student, he was interested. Couldn't give me a firm answer right tonight because the student was taking the SATs yesterday. I was more concerned about the SATs than the job. But he did indicate it looks like, and this is something the board has to do, where the student probably would like to do the internship after school because it doesn't work out for his schedule, so it would be like 3 to 5 or 3 days a week until school ends. And then, so I thought that would be sufficient initially, and then after school ends, he can be working on his emails or whatever. So as soon as I find out from Mr. Castle, student is really interested in having, I'll meet with him and we'll try to plan a date.
Is the candidate a senior?
I got the impression that he's taking the SATs, he probably junior.
So we wouldn't have.
Good.
Yeah.
Right, I like that.
That'd be helpful.
I think that's a good thing.
Hopefully we'll hear something back tomorrow.
Good.
Follow up.
Okay, then on the building and land, one more, did you have a question?
Well, if we go back, the paid holiday, I suppose you and I should handle.
Right. Yeah,
The cell phone one we've already working on.
yeah, making some
Bob's
progress on
taking
there.
care of that one already.
Yep,
I just want to put a name to each one.
yep, and they're actually in here. I do have them in the agenda item.
Yeah.
So,
Who's gonna kind of take care of it and just like Bob took and ran with it, so we just let it run.
which was good.
Yeah.
I have with the Memorial Brick Garden, the bricks were Kathy's idea and the trees were my idea, so I thought her and I would probably work on those. The Stone 80, which is, I feel, a big project, and it sounds like we want to get on there. Vern, I thought, since you know most about farming, and Bob, since you are aware with how the contract would read, I thought if you guys wouldn't mind working on that, that would be good. The replacement approach, obviously, Chris, that's going to fall on you. And probably Jeff, but since Jeff's not me on the board, I didn't want to throw him in here, but that'll probably come on him too.
With that approach, do we want engineering plans for that, or do you want to just the cost of contractors for like remove and replace, just to see what
In the
they?
budget.
In our budget, we
We put together
Yeah.
a price for engineering to actually look at a plan so that we can have something we can actually bid.
Because I think we were concerned about the ditching.
Well, it's the flow of water
Yeah.
out there, it's whether we can do an oblong pipe and get a pipe long, deep enough in the ground and then ditch the water run somewhere and, kind of thing. So I think, like I said, I don't remember what the amount was, but I thought we set aside an amount of budget that would cover the cost for.
I want to say like $10,000, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Well, didn't we combine that with the lighting or something? And thought we were going to
It
get something out of
was a sign.
Sign, it was a sign.
It was a price for them to develop a sign.
I thought we were-
Yeah,
We kind of figured we do the engineering now,
and
maybe.
next year.
And then next year,
Project,
yeah.
just renew the furnace.
That was my understanding.
Okay, once we get those, then we can run with bids and all that stuff. Just curious.
I know, we also had checked into the LED sign and had asked Sharon a couple questions about it, and Kathy had mentioned tonight that possibly we could look for a grant of some sort that might be out there or something like that. Certainly, right? I like it. With the budget, we want to put money in the budget for furnace, which we have, in our proposed budget, we do have money in for that. Update of the recreation plan. I've asked Lori, and the planner has been working on that, getting that stuff together for us, and you guys will see the timeline thing pretty soon. Property we're looking at, I think that's more of a wait and see game. I'll probably try to call them again. It's been a little while. With accountability, the legal review code. That's, a big goal for me, so I'm sure I will spend a fair amount of time working on that. In the end, that's probably just going to be the whole board at the end when we find a facility. It's going to have to work on that. Getting the code online will be part of that, I'm sure. Bob had brought up videoing the plan commission meetings, and so I know that Chris is liaison to the cable commission, and
You guys need a schedule for the planning commission.
I think we get that done pretty easy.
Yeah, and then I can just arrange that to be videotaped.
Okay.
It's every other month, every odd,
What's the next one? Start with
the
that.
next month, be May. So it'd be the fifth, like the first, third, fifth. We don't always have a meeting.
They cancel at
They
least
cancel
a
it,
year.
yeah, it's canceled for at least a week before or so.
Yeah, it has to be canceled at least.
Yeah, it's easy to move, but it's cancel, I can just tell them.
Yeah.
We'll have it the rest of the year.
I like that. We'll have the
Well,
rest.
because of the rec plan,
Okay.
we are scheduled to have it the rest of the year.
Okay. Other cybersecurity. I'm gonna look for a little direction on here. I can't remember who brought that up. I know we had talked about Jeff and Rob Miller, and Kathy, you had some input on that. I can't remember exactly.
Bob had asked about it, actually, it
Okay.
came down to our insurance guy, that's about the truck, and then Bob inquired about it, and then it said to Jeff and Ron.
Yeah, so I received the information on that from Mr. Sapp. There was some misinformation somewhere along the line, maybe we just didn't update all the information that was out there, but the EMS is all our shared township server. When we put the new building, and we put a server in that handles all of our needs of all of our buildings, so it's one central server. So we're not, there's not a server that we use back here. So there's no issue for the EMS at all. Having said that, I still follow up on your server and your cybersecurity, which is your insurance company. So Mr. Sapp and I talked probably, it's been 2 weeks ago now. We completed, there was a kind of an application, more an information kind of sheet that Rob went through and completed from the insurance company. It was asking about firewalls and various password protections and things like that. Rob went through and completed that. I sent that, or I gave that to Mr. Sapp, and he and I sat down, and he was supposed to be sending that on to your insurance carrier, who was going to, get you a quote for coverage for cybersecurity. And then we can evaluate, whether or not it's something we want to purchase. I don't know enough about it to tell you whether or not I think it is of value to purchase it. And I would tell you, you're probably not going to find anyone in the world, if you're going to ask that question, should we have insurance for cybersecurity? I don't think you're going to find a person out there, Rob included, who says, don't do it. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be held responsible for saying, don't do it. And then you get, a data breach and you didn't have insurance to cover. So I think at the end of the day, the recommendation probably is going to be to do it. We'll see what those numbers come in at. But I think, like I said, nobody's going to say, hey, this is a bad idea.
So Mr. Sapp will probably get hold of Bob or me, or.
I think, I'm not sure we'll get a hold of you guys, or we'll get back on me, but one way or another, he's supposed to be getting a number back here for that.
Okay.
That you're looking at, you talk to him.
And so it's Bob.
Okay, so what a bill there. Okay, we brought up the police protection conversation. I know that was something that Chris was interested in checking out, and maybe talking about that again. So in the next year, if you wanted to put some stuff together and come back and start a conversation about that, that would be awesome. Sure.
Before we go off that topic, I just need to bring it to the board's attention. I was talking to John Moore Saturday night, and we had less talked about police protection at board meetings, and I guess he's gotten their council to be amenable to it if we ask the police department. So I don't know where we're going.
Sure.
Just in case.
I think we should be open to it again.
So if we want.
If you want to go with Chris and talk about it.
Try talking to John and see what we, I'll find out if we can give us some time after 5.
Sure.
I'll call him and see what he's talking about. Interesting.
Yeah, just talk to them all.
Okay, that sounds good. And the last item, hold on, I'm just going to stick that out of there. The last item we have is the Hidden Meadows upgrade for the road and then the, under special assessment and then special assessment for Pound and Meeks Road. Chris has been spending some time on that as well as I have, so I think we would just be the two to continue working on that.
Yeah, and I can't remember if I put it in the email or not, I did find out there are no match funds for special assessment district projects. I think it's gonna be the way of the future, doing these SADs, just because of the shape the roads are in, the primary roads. County, all counties really are giving them a whole lot of extra money for projects such as that. So I think 100% of what you between the township and the
And a special assessment usually is just going to fall, I think it's described as for properties that benefit directly from the improvement. So, and I know that was a pretty hefty number on the Pound 2 weeks, $1.3 million. And I don't know how many properties are in that area. I don't think that many.
The other thing you have to consider is there's got to be a public hearings on that too.
Oh, sure.
For all the homeowners and residents of that area.
Yep.
This is just kicking around numbers and estimates. There's no whole.
So we got numbers, I guess, where are we going with this?
Well, once we get solid numbers, I have to get back with the gentleman that talked to me about that. I talked to him last week, I talked to him the week before. I'm waiting for our assessor to get me property owners, the number of property owners in there. I did contact her last week, she's going to get me that information tomorrow. I'm going to get a hold of him, and if I understand it correctly, the next thing he does is he can either draw a petition himself with the wording or write us a letter, and we can have our attorney review the language. And then he has to get 51% of the people that live in that area to sign a petition stating that they would be willing to enter into a special assessment district. And in our case, we would send it to John. I would think he would look at the numbers, how that would affect us, what we'd be responsible for. At over $1.3 million, I mean, the township and Bob, you would know more about it. You know, if we had to split up, say there's 20 parcels out there, then the township decides how long they let them pay for that. We would still have to come up with the initial money, and then we would get into the bond issue. And so, I mean, this turns into a pretty big, work-heavy project for us. However, I think if they ask us for it, and they have the people agree to do it, they bring us a petition, I think that we have to move forward with it. I mean, I don't think we can tell them no. You know, we have to make an effort. If they agree that they're willing to pay it, I believe we have to make an effort to follow the process out.
The long process.
It could be a year. You know what I'm saying?
And how do you determine the cost and spreading it out, I mean, whether it's a 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, I mean, how do you determine?
I think that is up to the board.
I think we need input from Sharon on that issue.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need input from Sharon, from John, from,
They
yeah.
don't have no association on there.
Right. No.
Do you know what, my husband sent a paper going in there, and that was proposed to him, he would be the one who would be right on that. I mean, that's just going with one, who knows how those people are gonna react, you really
Is
don't.
there any way that, if we did something like that, is there any way that we could have some time to build up some seed money instead of coming up? There's no way we can $1 million right off the top.
Yeah, then you gotta find it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, think about it too, the initial request was the pound of weeks, but we don't want the homes around there. Could we assess hidden metal, if we didn't go in there?
I don't know.
They're not, I mean, yeah, it benefits access to their home. but it's
I think
not-
it has to be direct frontage.
So if you're gonna roll in the 500 to do all hidden metal and the 1.3 to be even more.
So anyways, right now, we're still in the very beginning. And obviously, I think one good thing about the five of us, we have to be pretty cautious and slow moving about that stuff, and we'd like to do it the correct way, so.
Well, the other avenue was here, I mean, I'm not saying the other avenue, but the fact of the matter is this thing's been around for some time. So we better take our
Yep.
due diligence when we're trying to decide what we're going to do here in the area. Because this project was one that was long before any of these members of this board were here. And now we're faced with this issue, so let's do it right.
All right, is there any further discussion on this? Okay, hearing none. It was moved by Grenia, supported by DeVos, to approve the board member designations as discussed to work on our FY 1920 goals as agreed upon by the board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion is carried. So what I will do then for the next meeting is just kind of go over these and, just put heading next to the heading who will agree to work on them. So, okay? All right. Next item on the agenda is reimbursement for continuing education of the electrical inspector. Motion would be in order to agree to reimburse Robert Botstein $250 for costs associated with continuing education to be our electrical inspector. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the reimbursement of $250 to our electrical inspector, Robert Bobson, for education.
Is there a support?
I'll support.
Is there any discussion?
So he's requesting $250.
Yeah,
Is he giving us?
I will ask him for those. I will let him know we need to, I feel like we need
No,
to have those.
is he asking us just for the 250 and then he gives because
So-
the way it reads and he explained to me the expenses, and he gave me an example, then it says at the bottom, he attends conference when possible. So I was just questioning whether
For,
he wanted the money ahead of time.
for this year,
He's
for
already
this
spent it.
fiscal year, he's probably in out of his pocket, maybe $2,000.
Okay, that's what
So-
I'm wondering how he.
What he told me was that the one place that he works used to give him $500 a year toward those expenses, and they told him this year that they would only give him $250, and he asked if we would consider the other $250, so I said I would ask.
Yeah.
So, but he will, I did tell him that, we would need to have some backup copies of his bills and such, and he did say he would give it to me, he just wasn't in a spot to do that last week. Are there any other questions? Okay. Motion by Zalpa, supported by DeVos, to agree to reimburse Robert Bobstein $250 for costs associated with continuing education to be our electrical inspector. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is carried. Okay. The last item on the agenda is the Cat Lawn Care contract. A motion would be in order to approve the contract for lawn services for the Bates Cemetery with Cat Lawn Care in the amount of $50 each cut, cutting every other week, and to authorize township supervisor to sign the same on behalf of the township. Can I get a motion to that, please?
I'll make the motion to approve the Cat Lawn Care's contract to cut Bates Cemetery for us.
Is there support?
Or
Is there any discussion? No? Okay, hearing none. Motion by Lofton, supported by Coleman, to approve the contract for lawn services for the Bates Cemetery with Kent Lawn Care in the amount of $50 each cut, cutting every other week, and to authorize the supervisor to sign the same on behalf of the township. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Okay, items for next agenda. I have a few. Does anyone have anything that they would like to see on the next agenda?
Since I'm not going to get the junior, I'm going to put the township investment policy on the agenda.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay. Kathy, anything?
No, not that I know of right now.
Okay, Chris?
We don't know maybe, but anybody had any updates on their goals and objectives? Assignments?
Okay. Okay. Good idea. Vern?
no, didn't think of it.
Okay, I know I did send Lori Mays. Generally, obviously, we'll have our public hearing. We'll have all the resolutions establishing salaries. We'll have trying to think what else we do at our main meeting.
Which we have to change because of the date changing with the voice. Whatever you like, what is it, Macomb Daily or Mainline?
Do you want to put that on there as well?
That would be nice, as long as
Okay.
you guys are up for it.
Yeah.
We can move around in between here and now.
So you'll bring it to
We'll bring
us.
it to us, and we'll decide which one we're going to go with. The date change for the voice.
All right. So we have called on the board. Does anyone have any comments they'd like to make? Let's start with you first.
First of all, like, this ditching program, I would like to put some money in our budget for this. So when we review our public hearing, we need to add that in.
Right now, we're at we've got about $16,000 in surplus. Did you want me to move some of that into?
Well, I don't know how much you want to put in there.
Okay.
I have to put some in there.
Okay.
I think we should have some money in there every year, just in case. We might never,
Okay.
but like he did mention they have an issue here. Township that they would like to try to take of.
Now, according to him, it's strictly for the drains though, right?
Yeah.
Not anything to do with the front ditching.
No,
issues.
it's just a county drain.
Now, what about the one like going across, I'm sorry to be getting off topic here a little bit. Remember the last one we had going across First and Run Road, was it? Where the huge culvert was breaking through in the middle of the road?
Oh,
Remember the
that's-
sand was falling?
That's a county drain.
And that was a county drain, so that would
That
have
would apply.
qualified. Okay.
I think it goes across the Stormy too, doesn't it? Is it county?
Yeah, see, if we would have had this when John Bryan was
We
here,
could.
we could have helped him out. I think it cost him like $2,000 on his whole project. We could have helped him. I think that was just engineering or something he had to get. But it was ridiculous. I mean, that way there, when we get situations like that, we've got something there. It doesn't mean we have to use it. And in a lot of cases, if you look on there, there's not a real lot of ditches
Right.
that it's going to pertain to. But it's,
There's some
Yeah,
that
there's
we
some.
don't know.
And I think we should
Okay.
just be part of it.
So do you think we should put aside some money right now? In the budget or?
Like maybe some 5,000?
Yeah, we could right now, then we can maybe use it for the budget. I think we should, because that's why I was curious, if he had any money left. And like, he had told me that before, he tries not to let somebody pay at all.
Can we set that up like we do with the EMS rainy day fund? Like keep it in a separate account where, rather than capital outlay, so it doesn't go back into the general fund all the time?
Yeah,
I mean, it's something to look
I
into.
think we could do that.
And then let-
every
and
year
let
we
it
can,
build.
we can add to it.
Yeah,
If we use it,
that would be a good way to
I think
do
that's
it.
a great way to do it.
Yeah, because then you might
Like
have
it.
somebody to do something
Right.
with it if you have to. And you can always move it out of there if you absolutely have to.
So the question is, Bob, do you want to check into that? You want me to call PNC or find out what you guys want to go about
I'll
that?
check into whether it's a PNC or first.
First aid. Okay.
It's just setting up an account such as the board chose to put 5,000 aside.
Are you thinking 5,000 out of the 18-19 budget to start down in case we want to use it, or?
I would.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. You guys good with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we're going to need
Good
a
idea.
motion or something. We are, can we do that?
Well,
I think we can bring it to the next agenda.
Yeah, it's
We're
gonna
ready
have
to
to be
go.
on-
We
it's gonna have to
should
be,
set that
yeah.
up, yeah.
It should be set up to where it's on the agenda. We can't just,
Next agenda.
you know.
okay. Perfect.
And then just Richmond City, or Richmond City, the conference, or chamber conference, is that going to live or going to die?
We're having a meeting on the 20th.
Yeah,
It's
18th,
18th or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of benefited from the baskets there.
You know that when I was at the fire contract meeting, Mr. Green and the Christie said they were both going to try to take things from their township that they could make, maybe not welcome baskets, but welcome something. So I don't know, if we come up with some ideas, we could put, I don't know, maybe we can, see what they're putting theirs. But yeah, that's too bad, because I think those were nice. Anything else?
Nope.
Bob?
Nothing.
Kat?
You want it?
Chris?
Just wanted to bring up, since we're talking about scheduling and it's not going to be here too. Have we talked about yet which meeting we're going to take off this summer, July or August? Have we discussed that?
Usually we do that in June, and I know you had mentioned to me, and that's why I said bring it up tonight.
Yeah,
Kind of get up.
in July, I would recommend July off. I don't know if that's possible.
It doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know how everybody feels about it.
We just said August before, but that's.
The fair.
No, the
Yeah.
fair's the third week, isn't it? Usually it's the sixth.
We've done both, I know, we've done.
Yeah, it doesn't, and if it's gonna help Chris out,
That's fine with me, too.
Okay.
See there? Wish grant.
That was easy, gotta like that. Anything else from the board? Okay. Lori and Chris are working on our website. It's looking pretty good. Look, peeked at it tonight, it looks good. Next item we have is general public comment. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say?
There's a cemetery on Armada Ridge. Are we responsible for that cemetery? Because I believe I see a lot of snow knocked over that needs to work. The one on Armada Ridge. I've all heard you guys talk about police at the meetings for security. I do like that. I hope that we can get that going. And I received an email from Miss Cynthia that the pay increase is going to cost us $5,000 at 2%. I wish we'd reconsider that, because since the election, that means that you've raised the wages almost $15,000 in 3 years. Now, the budget, if I didn't file a FOIA tomorrow, am I going to be able to see what the budget is yet?
I'll speak with you after the meeting about that.
Okay, and I heard you guys talk about drains. I think that Kloss isn't as part of Vern's property. That looks like it should be cleaned out for the drains to operate correctly. So that looks like it's all overgrown down that whole stretch of Kloss. So that's all I have to say tonight.
Okay. Any other public comment? All right, here.
Oh, I got one more thing. Okay. Last week, when I was talking with you, you said our budget that we get is $150,000 for the whole year. And I see we're giving the EMS like $100,000 per month. Do you show where all the funds are coming from? That we're not extending ourselves too much? I'm pretty interested in that, and I have never had a problem with the EMS. I'm very glad of their service. We've used them, had used them several times. But you told me that we can only have $150,000 worth of income, but I don't see how we're going to have the rest of the income to keep paying for the budget that I see being proposed. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, a motion to adjourn is in order. Is there support? Motion by the boss, supported by Paul to adjourn the meeting at 8:33 p.m. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion is carried.